Hello everyone, this is Steve with My Audio Stuff, and once again I have another treat for you. I told you that I would take my STA or STA 52 receiver apart for you. This is the realistic STA 52 from about 1977, and so I've gone ahead and pulled the wood cabinet off of it. Obviously it's all in one piece and it's secured on the bottom of this, but just wanted you to take a look at it. This is really a very simple receiver to work on. It has a total of 5 circuit boards. One is underneath, and I'll show you that one as well. But these are the 4 main boards you can see over here. This is the tuner board, AM/FM stereo tuner with a 3-gang tuner. Nothing to write mother about, but it gets the job done and has one integrated circuit. That's the only integrated circuit in the entire unit. That's the FM-MPX unit here. And really, if it weren't for that circuit board, you'd probably have to have a whole nother board about as big as this to decode the FM. So fairly efficient board and actually fairly easy to calibrate. I suppose that's for another video, but it isn't rocket science to calibrate these. You can get the shop manual or just use a few moderately powerful stations at certain parts of the dial, 90, maybe 98, and then one at 106, 107, and then the meter of the unit to adjust some of these coils and transformers and things like that. But anyway, that's for another video. So you can see the unit here, and I told you that I had replaced some of the capacitors in the amplifier stage, and so those are the 4 that I replaced, the green ones there. You can see them. Not that there were anything wrong with them, but I figured that they're the ones that are responsible primarily for the power that the power transistors get. And these, of course, are quasi-complementary. I believe NPN across the board. You can see the little temperature sensor units for thermal protection on the amplifier. But aside from that, though, that's all I've done with the amplifier. I'll probably get around to replacing the rest of the electrolytics. You can look in this area as well. And then, of course, beside the tuner board is the B+ power supply board. And I did replace a few of the capacitors here. You can see that. The rest of them, the other 4 or so, I have not replaced, nor did I replace any of the diodes. You can see those there. You can probably get some standard issue high amperage silicon diodes that'll work just fine for that. And there's a Zener diode down there. Probably wouldn't do bad to replace that regardless. And a transistor. But I don't think that there's too much wrong with it. There's not really any hum. Maybe just a real small amount. So it's possible that I should look at some of the components here. But I haven't done anything with it yet. One real simple upgrade for this unit is right here. This is the Phono Board. Look at that. And it's real simple. It has 4 transistors. You can see them right there. And then, of course, a filter electrolytic, which you can replace, and then 2 smaller ones, which I'd probably put Elna-Silmic 2s in it. You can see the other electrolytics. So really a total of 5 of them in this thing that you could probably replace. And again, the smaller ones here, I'd probably put Elna-Silmic 2s. Those are coupling electrolytics probably for the various phono stages. But if you're looking to really upgrade this thing, on top of replacing the capacitors, think about replacing the transistors. I think these are all NPN, and you can replace them with NTE 199s. And if you put those in it, it'll give the phono section, how can I explain this, more bite to it. I have a Harman Kardon 930 receiver, which was their flagship receiver, and I went in and replaced the transistors in the phono preamp with NTE 199s, and I haven't looked back. So I think that's a really nice upgrade. Other than that, though, the other circuit board that I have not shown you, I'll go ahead and turn this thing over, and I'll try not to drop it here. Hold on for just a second. But this is the underside of the receiver. And I'll just try and get over here and show you. This is the receiver preamp section. And you can see that it's really simple. Not much to replace here. And it's really just a 2-transistor receiver. They probably could have done better with that. But again, it does the job fairly well of handling the inputs and the bass and the treble and all of that, and doing it reasonably well. You could probably put NTE 199s in this as well. I'm not saying that that's the big substitute for everything, but again, they're not bad transistors. And put in this thing, that would probably add more sparkle to your tone control, and then of course you could replace the electrolytic coupling capacitors and all of that. But a very clean layout, easy to work on this unit. No real surprises or anything like that. Once again, I think Radio Shack did a reasonably good job at putting together a receiver that, you know, was high fidelity and, you know, decently powerful, and gave you pretty much what you'd want. You know, a decent high fidelity FM front end, and, you know, magnetic cartridge for the phono section, and you could hook a tape deck up to it, and of course it has the auxiliaries, so you can hook a CD player up to it as well, or as I had, a Bluetooth. But once again, though, this is probably the better of the two in my opinion. This is the realistic STA 52A receiver from 1977. Check out my other site of Father's Devotions. There's a link for it on this site. Well, that's all I have. This is Steve with My Audio Stuff.